Welcome to the Grand Prix of Malta. It's nearly time to go racing as the boats leave the port of Valletta and head towards the start line, where they'll muster anticipating the starter's flag. And it's been a long wait since the end of last season, expectancy as high as ever. It doesn't get any better a venue than the beautiful island of Malta, which hosts the opening race for the third successive year. If you like your motorsport wet and wild, then Malta, with its potential for big seas, is the perfect place to start the season. There's OSG, indeed looking sexy. Giancarlo Cangiano could well have every right to be optimistic. Now, what about Hannes Boynch? I wonder if he's got anything left in reserve in vetpunt.com. Bootsy Bullet? Well, they might be outgunned by the newer Supersport boats. Every kind of boat out there, some very bizarre-looking spectator craft in the flotilla. And on board with the Ocean Dragon racing team, the hopes of the People's Republic of China resting with them. Round one in the Grand Prix of Malta will be an endurance race and an opportunity for one of the faster boats to attempt to break the round the island record. So let's have a quick look at the course for today. The start is close to the shore to give the spectators a great view. Evolution race 6 laps of the 5.6 nautical miles short course, while Supersport do 5 before they head off around the island. The circumference is 46.4 nautical miles. That means the total race length will be 80 miles. On board the pace boat, leading them to the line, ready to get this Maltese Grand Prix underway. And away they go, off to a flying start in the heavy seas off Valletta. And flying already, Kerikol making a good start. And look at that, Supersport contenders Showtron, the yellow boat looking very quick. OSG and Toraya, last year's powerhouses, all out front once more in the heavy seas, and they're congregating together. On the left of the picture, OSG, on the right, Kerikol, that's very close. Contact, OSG slams into the side of Kerikol, and that could have real repercussions as they go around the island. Wow, look how close that was. Too close for comfort. Seconds into the season and already controversy. Kerikol, and there is vetpunt.com and Faneblast. Now, have they stopped or have they not started? What on earth is going on? Faneblast did not seem to see the start. Well, that has already left them with enormous work to do. Bootsy Bullet down there, the rib looking very quick in Supersport. The smaller boats with less power and less weight take a little longer to accelerate generally. The field already starting to spread out. Some of the new boats will be very quick. Some will produce problems right from the start. So, Kerikol, last year the pace setters, and this year they're already in the same position. Huge spectator flotilla, and they've all come out to see this crew, particularly on Showtron. But the Maltese brother and sister have dropped out of the lead of the Supersport class as everybody else has come up to speed, particularly the newcomers from the UK R-Pro. Look at them powering past Carpenter with the Ocean Dragon racing team at the bottom of the picture. Faneblast picking up the pace though, coming through the Supersport field, but Kerikol already round the mark and heading on the downwind leg, so they've got a lot of work to do. Well, this boat really was the class of the field last year in terms of speed. It just looked so superb, barely touching the water at all, just enough to keep those props in and stop the ISOTTA FRASCHINI motors from over-revving wildly. And last year, vetpunt.com won the title with huge speed and reliability. They weren't susceptible to the same mistakes that their rivals made. And at the moment, they look to be doing more than just scraping around for points. Second place for the champions. But they've got company. Look at this. It's OSG tracking them. And with those new Sterling motors from the USA, they have really got a turn of speed as well. After that collision set them back right at the start with Kerikol, now they're turning on the taps, and let's look at the gap. Where is Kerikol? Well, somewhere at the head of that rooster tail, there is our race leader, leading the Evolution class, leading the Grand Prix of Malta outright. Vetpunt on the right of your picture, the next rooster tail up. That is OSG closing fast. If Hannes Boynch had rear view mirrors, they'd be full of OSG. Really recovered from that first lap ding. But has there been any damage? Supersport class leaders, first time in Powerboat P1 from the UK, it's R-Pro. They are really streaking away from their class rivals. Over racing here, the fastest Supersport boat last year in a straight line, Angelo Tedeschi's boat, not going so quickly. There's the yellow Sif. Now they are chasing Kyton. Sif a wild card entry, and wild is right as they come round the mark. And Kyton making heavy weather of it out of the turn as well. Lots of spray from the props. They've just come past this battle, Ocean Dragon Racing holding off the Butzi Bullet crew. And look at this, here comes Sif, pulling alongside Kyton. In fact, the Kuf has gone in front. They're only a wildcard entry this weekend, but Renato Guidi and his crew are going really well. R-Pro forging ahead, Supersport leaders averaging over 64 miles an hour in seas like this. Here's Taraya, third place in Evolution and overall. Sounding good, and so is Fameplast. Marco Panesi's really going quickly, 3 kilometers an hour faster than race leaders Caracol. And they're catching somebody right in front of them, and this is for position as well in the Evolution class. There is Sif, and look at the speed differential. That is quite incredible. Fameplast will leave them for dead. Here we are on board. This is fantastic footage. In the middle, the driver, Marco Panesi, the man who designed this thing. And look at the suspension on the seats to try and soak up some of those brutal shocks. And here is Fameplast, and look how much more it bounces around. It's just much quicker, and it's so fast they've now overhauled Taraya, the red boat. And this is not for fourth now, this is for third, because we believe that Vetbung.com have stopped on course with an engine fire. Now, apparently it's all out, but that leaves this boat, OSG, in second place, chasing Caracol as they head off round the island. What a beautiful day to be out on a boat. Just look at it. And it looks flat calm out there as well. Our Supersport leader heads off as well. R-Pro just making it look so easy. And here is the entry from China. Ocean Dragon Racing having a great debut here. Martin Lai, the throttle man closest to us, stepping up to the big time, his first international race as we ride on board, but that's bad news. Paul Williams, the driver, looking around. Now, what could he be looking for? He can't have dropped anything. Mark Sansom looking out the back, the navigator, and so is the driver. That makes me think that something has gone bang on board in a big way, and that is heartbreaking for them. What terrible luck for the newcomers. Ocean Dragon Racing in trouble, and Ober Racing just don't have the speed they had last year either. They really need to find something. Well, maybe they can borrow some of Caracol's, because this team has got speed to give away. They've smashed the island record by 8 minutes to win this Maltese Grand Prix. And after crashing at the start, OSG come in second place. They'll be very pleased with that indeed. And Taraya move on to the podium in third. Fameplast forced to retire. That's a disaster for them, but a huge relief for Taraya. Supersport debutants, husband and wife Mike Shelton and Jackie Hunt, claim victory. What a fantastic effort for them in their first Powerboat P1 race. And Butzi, second place in Supersport. They retired from last year's opening round. They'll be very happy with that. Mario Invanuzzi back as number one. Last year's winner wins again, and a 34-minute, 2.8-second lap of the island. And I think we have a new rival for British number one. Is it R-Pro or is it Butzi? Only time will tell.